Welcome back, everybody. RC here for Photography Tips and Tricks, your show for gear tips, inspiration, anything you need to get your photography to the next level. Now, this week I wanted to talk to you a little bit about this, the Rapid Box Octa Xxl. This is something that I just picked up from our friends over at Wescott. And I've been looking for a solution that kind of gives me a really big softbox kind of light, but something that doesn't necessarily take a lot of time for me to set up. And I've been playing around with them and I was like, oh, they're okay. But I really kind of wanted something that was like big, that kind of gave me a big size to it. So I think I landed on the one that I like, and it's the XXL. So let's take a look. It's a 48-inch Rapid Box Octa Xxl. This model that they have on the website is with an Elinchrom speed ring. I actually have one here with a Profoto speed ring, so I'll show you what the ring looks like. Now, I happen to be a big fan of this Profoto speed ring because they do make it very easy for you to work with, right? It's just one clamp, and all you do is just slide the head in, clip, and you're done. So that part I think is neat. Now, the other thing that I like about this kind of setup is that when you're working on location, I don't necessarily want to spend time going, hold up, no, get the rod, get this together, get the rod, or travel with a giant softbox already armed in my car. I want to be able to have the convenience of having it portable, but when I get to the location, should I get to the location a little later than I need to, I want to pop this thing up in a flash. So I think that that's where they've done very, very well with this. It's got fiberglass rods. It handles itself pretty good. I'm just trying not to talk over the flapping of it, but when you pull it out, that's what it looks like here. Now, the setup of it, oh, let me pull this out here real quick. I'll talk about that in a second. But the setup of it, put my hand inside of it, and it's gonna be hard for you to see, but I'll just go ahead and open it up here. You'll see that the inside of it is actually a lot like an umbrella shaft. So if you're used to Apollos and you're used to those kinds of umbrella mounts from Wescott, then it's a very familiar territory for you. All we're doing here is just pushing this inside of that rod. So we'll go ahead and we'll just grab that, push it straight through. You're up and running. That's it. There's nothing else. This is your diffusion material. So this, I'm just going to show you one side of it. I'll go ahead and plug this in here, here. I won't do all sides because I'm going to tear it off in a second, but this puppy's done, right? So 48-inch, really, really nice. This is one-stop diffusion material. You can also do an internal baffle. That's what this square is here, right? So, I mean, this Octa part here. You'll see that there's these clamps right here on this side, and then you can take this and just put it onto that. Hang it to all of the other sides. That internal baffle is gonna let you kind of get rid of a little bit of the specularity of the softbox. So, sets up pretty easy, collapses pretty easy. Here's the part that's even better. Pull this off. Now, take that out. You see this rod right here? This rod will allow you to use this in a very, very different manner. Right now, it's a softbox, it's an umbrella, it's a softbox, it's an umbrella. But you can get a diffuser plate. You take this diffuser plate and you put it in right here, and now what do you have? A giant beauty dish. So they sell the modifier, right, that they sell the deflector plate for this, and now you have an umbrella, right? You have all the benefits of an umbrella. It collapses down, it's portable, it's easy to set up, right? Once I'm done, hey, grab that, pull that in, bring this down. At that point, throw this inside of the bag. I like throwing it in the bottom first. You're done. Then from there, you just pack this in, stuff this inside of here, you're off to the races. Now, why do I keep this out? They have a variety of different mounts. So I have the Elinchrom one, I have this Profoto one. I also have the one that you can use for their Skylux lights. So the different mounts that it comes with, they're not interchangeable. You have to get individual units for it. So that way I can kind of feel it and go, oh, this is the Profoto one. Oh, this is the Elinchrom one. If you want to see more information on that, make sure that you go to fjwescott.com, take a look at this one section right here, under light modifiers, you'll see the Rapid Box. They also have them set up for speed lights if you would like to take a look at those. The ones that we're looking at are the Studio Series lights. So the modifiers that we're talking about here are the 48-inch Rapid Box Octa XXL with your individual speed rings. If you want to see more of those, you can always just move around here. There's the ProPhoto speed ring right there. So when we come back, I want to talk to you a little bit about DNG, Lossy DNG, and RAW files and how easy it is for you to convert them. Stick around, we'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. RC here for Photography Tips and Tricks. Now, this conversation is a little bit about file size and space and how to be able to manage most of that stuff. I get a lot of questions on the concept of RAW files and what to do with these RAW files once they come into your computer. I'm a big fan of converting RAW files into DNG because it saves quite a bit of file size when you're working with them. So it isn't so much conversation about Lightroom, although I do this inside of Lightroom. You can also get a DNG converter right from the Adobe website if you want. So let's just go ahead and just cover that right now. I'm going to go to Google, and inside of here, I'm going to type in Adobe Dng Converter. Right? If you're not using Lightroom, you could always just go over here, Camera Raw and DNG Converters. Right? You could take a look at all of the different versions there. So you can download this as a standalone program and do all of the stuff that we're going to talk about here. But if you're using Lightroom, you already have all of that stuff built in. Now, take a look here. This is one file that I have that happens to be a RAW file. I know it's a RAW file because it says an extension of .nef. So if I take that RAW file and double click on it, it's got a lot of detail into it. But what I'm looking for specifically is to find out what the size of this is. Now you'll notice that right here I have that file, and that file happens to be about 78.8 megabytes. So this was shot with a 36 megapixel camera. Right? I think if this was like the D810 or so, or the D800. So it's a big file. Now, that's a lot of space. If you're shooting and you want to kind of compress most of that stuff, the next option that you would have would be to convert this to a DNG. If you're inside of Lightroom, you could always just click on Lightroom, and under Library, you have the option here called Convert Photo to DNG. Now, when you do that, you have the option to delete the original file. It gives you an extension, and then you have this option here called Lossy Compression, right? So significantly reduces the DNG file size, but may result in some quality loss, right? Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm not going to click on any of these, right? I'm not going to delete it. I'm not going to do any of that stuff because I've already done that for you, right? So the first one that I did was this conversion to a DNG. I'll show you what they all look like. Right, so here is 570.nef. That is your DNG file, right? Inside of here, you have the size 78.8. Now, 570.dng is also a RAW file. All of the qualities, all of the benefits of the RAW file, we did the exact same thing. We just went right click, convert to DNG. It's 44.5. So that has saved you about 30 megs right off the top. Now, the last one that I have here, 570-2.dng, I saved this one with Lossy Compression. 14 megabytes. That is a huge, huge jump. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all three of these and I'm going to open them inside of Photoshop. I'll grab them inside of Photoshop, put them inside of here. They're exactly the same in terms of develop settings. So nothing's changed there. I'm going to click Open Images. And all three of those files will open inside of Photoshop and we'll take a look at them. Right? There's one, 25%. There's two, 25%. And there's the third one, 25%. Now, I'll zoom in to this one area right here. Right? So that is quite a bit of information, right? Now, I want to take a look at what the space looks like here and what the space looks like here. Having this first one selected that's zoomed in, if you have duplicate, I'm going to close this guy out here. If you have duplicate windows of the exact same thing or the same file, you could always just go to Window, under Arrange. You can either match the zoom, match the location, match the rotation, or match all. I'm going to select Match All, and all of these are going to be in the exact same spot. Watch. 1, 2, 3. Exact same spot. Do you notice a change? I don't, right? If you look at this image size in inches, 24 by 16. This image size, we'll go to pixels, 24 by 16. We'll go to this one right here, image size, inches, 24 by 16. So all of it seems exactly the same. However, this one is 14 megabytes. The other one is 75 megabytes. I've printed these, I've blown them up, right? I've gone to, let's say, like 24 inches wide. And to be honest with you, the amount of detail that I've seen that's been lost has been very, very small. I'd argue that a lot of people won't see that much of a difference, but that's just my opinion. So if you want to keep as much data as you can, absolutely, go right ahead. Keep the largest raw file. But at bare minimum, I like to switch over to DNG. And if I know that these files are not going to go super, super big, or I'm not that paranoid about it, I'm going to use that Lossy Compression because the savings is going to be so much bigger. And the quality is pretty good. So wanted to share that information with you. I thought it was good for you guys to know. And maybe that'll change kind of how you work your workflow inside of Lightroom or in Photoshop. Now, a couple things I want to leave you with. This is the season finale. We're going to be coming back in June, right? So we're going to take some time off. We'll have a fresh new season. We'll have Pete, we'll have Corey, we'll have Mia, we'll have Scott. Everybody will be here. But I want you to let us know. Go on our Facebook page. Go on the Kelby One page. If you want to see something for the season, we'd love to be able to answer your questions. Please do so. If you want to stay in touch with me during the break, go to facebook.com/aboutrc. This is a place where you can come, right? So just facebook.com/aboutrc, leave me a note. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you guys have. Now, the PeachBit ebook deal. Make sure that you go to peachbit.com/Kelby1, enter in the code Kelby1, and you're gonna get 40% off of this book. So the Non-Designer's Design Book, 4th edition by Robin Williams. I am a huge Robin Williams fan, right? Her web design workshop is a great book. The design book, I still have them to this day in my bookcase at my home. So she has a great knack for explaining design concepts and web concepts. So you're gonna absolutely love this book, guaranteed. Make sure you go to peachbit.com/Kelby1, enter in that code Kelby1, and you're gonna get 40% off of her ebook. Guaranteed. I love it. I'm a big fan of her stuff. But anyway, the website to watch, photoshopworld.com. Make sure you go to photoshopworld.com, August 11th through the 13th, 2015. You're going to learn more in 3 days than you have in 3 years. That is another guarantee. The world's best photographers will teach you photography, Photoshop, and Lightroom like you cannot believe. If you want more information, make sure that you go to photoshopworld.com. Guys, thanks so much for stopping by this season. I really enjoy doing this. We enjoy putting this together for you. We enjoy answering your questions, and we'd love to be able to keep that conversation with you. Let us know what you want to see, and we'll see you back here on next season for Photography Tips and Tricks. Take care.